Hi there, YouTube. Arcade is back. I had a great day yesterday. In the afternoon, I met up with Custardo and the Highlander, Wouter, and we went to Zoetermeer, of all places, in the industrial area, the commercial area. There was a big building which houses Retroplanet, and I'll show you Retroplanet, and they provide you with the ultimate arcade experience. And they have well, you'll see the footage, and actually the Highlander Wouter, he also made a video on the arcade. There's something wrong with the audio, but it does give you a very nice impression on what it was all about. And we actually talked to the owners for a bit, and yeah, they're basically a whole bunch of volunteers. They're open 2 times a month. This weekend, past weekend, actually was a special weekend where they were open 2 days in a row. We ate homemade hamburgers there. They had a little nook where you could sit on a couch and play 4-player Mario Kart. There were consoles with EverDrives in them. There were retro gamer magazines laying around. I mean, these guys really knew what they were doing, and it showed. A lot of the consoles, they were imported straight from Japan, with a lot of the Japanese labels still on there. Coin slots with yen. Yeah, so no European cabinets, no UK cabinets or American cabinets. No, they were all Japanese original cabinets in immaculate condition or arcade ready condition. They were all, if not all, 99% of the cabinets were all functioning. And actually that was something that the owner said, or one of the guys working there said, is actually quite important, because people tend to remember the stuff that doesn't work. So if 3 cabinets aren't working, people go away thinking like, there's a lot of these cabs that don't work, where in reality only a small percentage of the cabinets didn't work. Well, there was a network error on the F0G or something that Wouter was playing. I couldn't play the arcade because it made me very nauseous. And there was a hangout or a super hang-on or one of these hang-on type racing arcade machines that did have something wrong with the something wrong with it. But most of the games, if not all, actually worked. And we went there I think about 3, 2:30, and we stayed until 6, and we had a blast. Really, I had a blast, and I am bound to go back there. And if you're ever in the Netherlands and you are, I'll put a link of the arcade club. I'll put a link down below in the video, below in the description. I think Retroplanet, I don't know if the website is in English. It may be just Dutch, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's open 2 times a month, so you really, before you go and visit, you really should check whether or not it's open. And they do have a Facebook page, which I also put a link down below in the description. It's 90s, 2000 arcade galore, I mean, that was actually quite cool. There were, I mean, okay, candy caps. You think of shooters, like vertical shooters. Which shooter do you want to have there? Well, Strikers, Raiden, perhaps Dodonpachi. They were there. Racing games, Sega Rally 1, Sega Rally 2, F0 GA, a ton of racing games. Of course, the most important one was Outrun 2. And they had 4 cabinets hooked up, and they were all working. They were just the sit-down cabinets, not the hydraulic cabinets with the, So I mean, but yeah, the sit-down cabinets, good enough, and yeah, I won a couple of times, and yeah. Well, the most fun thing was actually, it wasn't very busy, which is actually a bit worrying, but it was also quite hot and. Just after final exams of a lot of kids and stuff. So, a lot of people were probably doing other stuff than hide in a dingy, dark arcade. Well, it's not dingy, and it certainly wasn't dark, but yeah. But yeah, there were these 19, 18, 90-year-old kids. They were, they're obviously wanting to go race together on the Outrun arcade. And there was one left, and I thought, I'd just go for a single race. And for some reason, suddenly I was in their race. They hooked up, so I, leaned over and said, sorry, I seem to be on your race as well. And they leaned over to me and said, oh, that's like these kids are like, oh yeah, that's all right, Gramps. It's nice. It's you just tag along, But I'm actually quite good at the game. So at first I was behind. They were in front of me when we started. So I really had to wait for them to just, to have a bit of a little space to get ahead of them. But eventually I did. And I managed to select the right lanes, and which are the most difficult tracks. And yeah, and eventually I just whipped their asses, and I leaned over and said, well, guys, nice racing, goed geraced, gasten. And they were like, oh man, that old dude really can race. So that was actually quite cool that I actually, with my advanced years, I'm still able to beat people at racing games. And yeah, Daytona, for example, the home ports of those and also Outrun, they're so good that you're actually good at the arcade when you play them, and especially the steering wheels, and the hydraulics. That really makes a hell of a difference, and I really want one in the house, but no, it's okay. Let's go there again. It's great. It's amazing to have something like this in the neighborhood. It's like a 50-minute drive, I believe. It's very close to The Hague. I think tourists will actually, it's not a tourist trap. It really is something that you want to go see and check out. I did went in Utrecht to Game State or something. They were advertising that they were the biggest arcade in Europe. Well, they're not. They're not. This place, really it felt like Replay in Manchester, with a ton of 90s and 2000s arcades. What was missing was, the old 8-bit, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Dig Dug, that kind of stuff. But there was a Tekken 2, a Tekken 1, a House of the Dead, a Naomi-style Sega cabinets. There's a ton. Well, I'll show you the video, because otherwise I'll be just mumbling on. Oh, and I caved. I really caved. They were available. Okay. I got 2 games. And a carrying case. And yeah. Let's go check out the arcade footage. So this is with a snuck-in Switch pickup thingy. But yeah, let's go check out the arcade. Mr. Googlander.
production style was introduced from China.
All the Astra cities housed shmups, and they were all imported from Japan. And here I am actually admiring the beautiful scan lines that show on these huge monitors. Great stuff. Cheers. I'm just very happy they were fake bullets.